Hello everyone, welcome to Get My Class. Today we are going to solve this question which says few intrauterine devices release dash ions. Option A iron, option B lead, option C copper, option D calcium. Let us understand the question. It says few intrauterine devices release dash ion. So first of all, we have to understand what do we mean by intrauterine devices. So what do you mean by that? As the name indicates, it is intrauterine. That means these are inserted within the uterus. Okay, so these are the devices which are inserted in the uterus of the female. Okay, so which are inserted in the uterus of the female. Female for what? For birth control. These are utilized for birth control or as a contraceptive methods. Okay, as a contraceptive methods. Birth control. Now, when we say birth control, we are talking about that the babies will not be formed. That means the female will not get pregnant. Now, there are certain intrauterine devices which can be like medicated and non-medicated. Okay, there are non-medicated, which will not have any medicine, but then they may carry some ions, like you have copper T, lipid loop, etc. Copper T, it will release copper ions, so that is why it is called as copper T. And whereas medicated intrauterine devices, which will contain hormones. Okay, these will contain hormones. Now, since they're talking about release of dash ions. So when we talk about ions, we have to look for the non-medicated one, and they usually use this copper T or copper-based intrauterine devices so as to release copper ions. So what do? These release copper ions. Copper ions. Why? What is the function of these ions? These have actually spermicide effect. Okay, spermicidal effect, you can say. Spermicidal effect. That means these can kill the sperm. Okay, and even they can reduce the motility of the sperm. Reduce the sperm motility. Okay, so when the motility of the sperm is reduced in the vagina itself, then the sperm will not be able to go through the uterus and further reach the fallopian tube and perform fertilization. Okay, so that is how these ions play major role. That is, copper ions play major role because these have spermicidal effects as well as they reduce the sperm motility. Okay, motility. So let us look at the question again. It says few intrauterine devices release dash ion. Option A, iron. No, they do not release iron. Lead, of course, lead is very poisonous, so the female can even die because of that. Option C, copper. Yes, that is the correct option because as I have discussed, copper ions will bring about spermicidal effect and also reduce the motility of the sperm. Calcium, no, because I have already discussed about copper. So let us conclude the answer. So what is the final answer? The final answer is option C, that is copper ion. I hope you understood the explanation. Thank you, everyone.